Beloved, chosen one, this is not a coincidence. This moment has been divinely orchestrated. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you so that this word could reach you. You are reading this because the heavens have remembered your name. Today is not an ordinary day, it is a written day. A sacred entry in eternity's timeline marked specifically for you. Listen carefully. The shift you have been feeling is not your imagination, it is heaven's whisper breaking through the noise. You were never created to blend in. You were never designed to fade into the background. You are chosen, set apart, and positioned by divine decree. Every trial, every disappointment, every tear that fell in silence was part of a greater preparation. You were being shaped, refined, and made ready for such a time as this. You have survived what others couldn't because there was an unseen hand holding you up. Even when you felt forgotten, God was still writing. Even when you couldn't see the light, heaven was aligning every piece of your journey. Nothing was wasted, not one heartbreak, not one sleepless night. Every piece of your pain was prophetic, pointing toward this day of divine manifestation. Now the heavens speak clearly. Your miracle Sunday has arrived. The waiting season ends today. The drought is over. The sound of abundance is breaking forth. You are standing under an open heaven, and the spiritual locks that once barred your blessing are being released. You have questioned if you were worthy of favor, but God never called the worthy. He calls the willing. You have carried burdens that made you question your strength. But even in your weakness, His power has been perfected. The very cracks in your heart have become the channels through which grace now overflows. Chosen one, this is not a message for tomorrow. This is for now. Heaven is calling your name in this very hour. The same voice that spoke light into darkness is speaking over your life, commanding blessings to rise from the dust. The ancient word of God declares in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 12, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands." Do you feel that stirring deep within you? That's not emotion, it's activation. The heavens are opening over your head. What was locked is being released. What was delayed is being delivered. The season of scarcity is being replaced by the season of overflow. You will no longer chase opportunities. Opportunities will locate you. This is your divine confirmation. Heaven has seen your faithfulness in the unseen moments, your perseverance when no one applauded, your quiet obedience when quitting seemed easier. And because of that, you are now stepping into divine reward. Every time you were overlooked, God took note. Every door that closed only positioned you for the one that no man can shut. Every no you heard was a setup for this supernatural yes from heaven. Beloved, this is the hour of manifestation. You are walking into rooms you didn't apply for, receiving favor you didn't earn, and reaping harvests you didn't plant alone. The angels are already moving. The atmosphere around you has been recalibrated. The word has gone forth, and it will not return void. Now it's your turn to respond. Don't stay silent while heaven speaks. Let your faith answer back. Speak aloud, "This is my miracle Sunday. Heaven has unlocked my blessing." Those words are not empty. They are divine keys turning in spiritual locks. And when you type the number 77 inches, the comments, do it as a prophetic act, declaring completion and divine alignment. It's not superstition, it's obedience. Heaven honors faith in action. Let that number be your seal, your agreement with what heaven has already decreed. Before you go, chosen one, remember to like, share, and subscribe, not for numbers, but for light. Every share is a spark that ignites someone else's faith. Every act of engagement sends ripples of hope across timelines. You are not just a receiver, you are a carrier of glory, a messenger of miracles. Today, walk in certainty. The atmosphere has changed. The gates have opened. The waiting has ended. You are no longer surviving, you are ascending. This is not the end of your story. It's the unfolding of a miracle that has been written in heaven since before time began. Your miracle Sunday has arrived. Heaven has unlocked your blessing, and the proof will follow swiftly. The heavens rejoice over you. Chosen one, what was once hidden is now revealed. Walk boldly into your blessing, for divine favor surrounds you like light, and no darkness can stand against what God has ordained. Your miracle Sunday is sealed in eternity. Every promise spoken is taking form. Stand tall, lift your hands, and declare it is done. The floodgates of heaven are open, and your breakthrough will not be delayed another moment. Chosen one, the mark of heaven has always been upon you. You did not stumble into this calling. You were sealed long before your first breath. Every fiber of your being carries divine fingerprints. You were written into existence with purpose pulsing through your veins. Even when you didn't understand why life felt heavier for you than for others, it was because the oil upon you carried a greater weight. The world never truly saw who you were, they only saw fragments of what you carried. Yet heaven saw everything. God saw you when no one clapped, when no one stayed, when your prayers echoed back in silence. And still, he whispered, "Mine, you are not ordinary. You have been marked by eternity." This mark is not a badge of pride, but a seal of protection and assignment. It is the unseen proof that your pain had purpose and your tears were counted. Every hardship was heaven's molding process, shaping your spirit to hold what is now being poured out. You had to go through what you went through, because destiny demanded it. There were moments when you questioned if you were forgotten, times when the night was too long, and the promise seemed too far. Yet in those very moments, the seal of heaven glowed upon you. Demons recognized it even when you didn't. That's why warfare followed you. That's why betrayal found you. The enemy saw the mark and feared what you would become once you realized who you are. But now, revelation meets you. The veil lifts. You begin to see it. Your life has never been a series of random events. It has been divine choreography. Every disappointment was redirection. Every closed door was preservation. Every delay was heaven saying, "Not yet. It's not time to reveal what's being refined." The divine seal upon you means that what was meant to break you only built you. It means you were hidden for a reason, because God was protecting your anointing from premature exposure. You were not buried, you were planted. And now, the soil that once felt suffocating is breaking open to reveal growth, life, and resurrection. Chosen one, there is something sacred about being marked. It means you cannot walk away from destiny. You can try to blend in, but heaven will always pull you back. You can try to silence your purpose, but the anointing will cry out from within. That is why comfort never lasts for long. When you step outside obedience, the seal of heaven will not let you rest in mediocrity. The Word of God declares in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 19, "Nevertheless, God's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with this inscription, the Lord knows those who are His." Is one. You are known. That is the essence of being chosen, not fame, not recognition, but being known by the one who created you. The seal signifies belonging, and belonging means you are never alone, never unseen, never abandoned. Even when the world turned its back, heaven leaned closer. This mark also carries authority. You do not need to beg for favor when you are sealed with purpose. Doors recognize the scent of divine destiny. Situations rearrange themselves in your favor because your presence carries heaven's signature. That's why things that break others did not destroy you, because the seal kept you. Chosen one. Your assignment now is to walk in awareness of who you are. Stop apologizing for the oil you carry. Stop shrinking to fit into spaces that can't hold your light. The mark upon you is not for hiding, it is for revealing God's glory. When people see you rise after everything that tried to bury you, they will know that divine fingerprints have been upon your life all along. You are heaven's evidence. You are the proof that grace is not theory but reality. Every scar, every story, every miracle in motion testifies that you are sealed for something greater. So lift your head. You do not carry shame, you carry the mark of glory. The time for hiding is over. The time for pretending you are ordinary is done. The seal has spoken, and heaven recognizes your name. From this moment forward, walk like one who belongs to the kingdom, unshaken, unafraid, unstoppable. For when you are marked by heaven, no earthly opposition can erase your calling. The seal upon you glows even in the dark. It tells creation who you belong to, and every force of darkness trembles at its sight. You are covered, protected, and destined to manifest the glory of the one who called you. No weapon formed against your destiny will ever prosper, for the signature of heaven speaks louder than any curse. Walk boldly, for even your footsteps echo divine authority and remind the earth that you are chosen. From this day forward, live with awareness that your very breath is sacred. You are not wandering, you are guided. You are not forgotten, you are sent. The mark of heaven will forever go before you. Chosen one, you have waited long, prayed long, and endured the silence of heaven without realizing that the waiting itself was warfare. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every not yet was not punishment, it was training. Heaven was conditioning your spirit to fight, to stand, and to trust without visible evidence. The waiting has been your battlefield. You thought nothing was happening, but in the unseen realm, angels were moving, and principalities were being dismantled. Each day you chose faith instead of frustration. You struck a blow against darkness. Every time you whispered, "I still believe," heaven recorded it as victory. You were fighting battles not with swords, but with endurance. Waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. They are divine classrooms where patience becomes power. In the stillness, God was sharpening your discernment, building your backbone, and refining your focus. You were being prepared to handle what you asked for if He gave it too soon, the blessing would have crushed you. But now you are ready. Chosen one. The silence was never empty. It was filled with divine activity beyond your comprehension. The enemy tried to convince you that God was ignoring you. But in truth, heaven was constructing a foundation so deep that no storm could uproot it. Every tear you shed watered the soil of destiny. Every sleepless night birthed strength inside you that you didn't know existed. The Spirit whispers, even now I was not late. I was perfecting. You thought it was denial, but it was design. The closed doors protected you from premature exposure. The unanswered prayers kept you aligned with your true assignment. And now, what once felt like divine distance will reveal itself as divine direction. The Word of God declares in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false, though it linger. Wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Do you see it now? Chosen one. Every linger had purpose. The waiting was not a pause in your promise. It was a preparation for your unveiling. Heaven has not forgotten the seed it planted within you. It has only been watering it in silence. You are stepping into the manifestation of what you once only imagined. Remember the days you questioned if you were behind. You were never behind. You were being aligned. God's timeline has always been different from the world's. While others were rushing, you were being rooted. While others were shining for a season, you were being built for a lifetime. And now, the winds are shifting. What you thought was stillness is about to turn into movement. The doors that refused to open are unlocking one by one. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet. The same waiting that once wearied you has now positioned you for visibility, favor, and restoration. Chosen one. The waiting was not a punishment, it was proof of trust. Heaven trusted you with silence because your faith did not depend on constant affirmation. You remained loyal in the dark. And now the light will honor your endurance. The time has come to lift your head, not in pride, but in quiet triumph. You are walking out of the wilderness with wisdom. You are emerging from waiting into witnessing. The very season that broke you will become your testimony of divine faithfulness. If this word resonates in your spirit, type below, "I still believe." Say it not as repetition, but as declaration, your shout of defiance against despair. Your final word to every doubt that haunted you. When you type it, you are not typing words. You are activating heaven's confirmation that your season of waiting has completed its purpose. Because the waiting was warfare, but the war is now won. I still believe. These three words are more than a statement. They are a declaration that defies every lie the enemy ever whispered to you. When you say them, you are standing in the ashes of what tried to destroy you and proclaiming that faith still lives here. You are telling the darkness that it failed because you refused to surrender your hope. Heaven takes note of that kind of courage. I still believe is what separates those who watch miracles from those who walk in them. It is the language of the faithful, the sound that moves angels into motion. When those words leave your lips, chains begin to loosen, because heaven recognizes the sound of endurance. Faith that survives the storm carries authority. It speaks louder than fear, louder than disappointment, louder than time itself. When you type it, you are not speaking to a screen, you are sealing your covenant with heaven. You are telling God, even when I didn't see it, I trusted you, even when I couldn't feel it. I stayed. That confession carries weight in the spirit realm. It shifts atmospheres and calls divine promises to attention. So, chosen one, whisper it again. Type it boldly. Let the heavens record it and the earth echo it. I still believe. Your endurance has unlocked what was waiting all along. Chosen one, even when you stand still. Heaven is never still. While you sleep, while you weep, while you wonder if the promise has expired, angels are in motion. The unseen realm is more alive than you realize. God's messengers move at his command, weaving divine order into what appears to be chaos. They have walked before you into rooms you've never entered and softened the hearts of those you haven't met yet. You must understand, divine movement doesn't always look like motion in your world. Sometimes it looks like silence, like nothing changing, like prayers hanging unanswered in the air. But even in that stillness, the machinery of heaven is turning. Angels are aligning people, opportunities, and timing into perfect harmony. What you call delay, they call preparation. Your prayers never fell to the ground unnoticed. Every whispered plea was recorded. Every tear became a command. Every act of obedience activated motion in the heavenly ranks. The moment you chose to believe, heaven responded. What you couldn't see was that the warfare intensified because your faith threatened darkness itself. Angels of light stood guard over your destiny, holding the line when the enemy tried to shift the outcome. Do you remember the moments when you almost gave up? But something unseen held you. That was no coincidence. That was divine assistance. You were surrounded by angels, messengers of fire, assigned to ensure you reached this point. Their presence was quiet but powerful. They are not bound by your timeline. They move according to divine command. The Word of God speaks in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." That verse is not poetry, it is covenant. It is the reality you live in, even when you do not feel it. The same God who assigned angels to protect prophets and kings has assigned them to you. You walk with heaven's army at your side. That is why accidents missed you. That is why attacks failed. That is why despair never fully claimed you. Chosen one, there are angels around you even now. They stand guard not because you are fragile, but because you are valuable. They are heaven's acknowledgement of your calling. Some fight battles you will never know about. Others carry answers you prayed for months ago. They are not delayed. They move when the atmosphere of your life is ready to receive what they bring. Heaven's timing is a symphony. Each note must fall into place. Sometimes your assignment needs alignment with other destinies. And so the angels wait until the appointed convergence. The delay you feel is the divine coordination of miracles, the choreography of breakthrough. You have wondered why help seemed distant. But now the veil lifts. Assistance has always been near. Every divine promise comes with protection. Your path has been guarded, your purpose defended, and your potential preserved. Angels do not operate on emotion, they respond to divine authority. And that authority has marked your name. There is a sound in heaven that only obedience can release. When you remain faithful, even without answers, that sound echoes upward. It tells the celestial realm, this one still trusts. And when that sound is heard, heaven deploys reinforcements. That's why things start to shift right after your hardest nights, because endurance activates the unseen. You are never alone, though the silence may deceive you. You are surrounded. When you drive, when you rest, when you step into uncertain places, angels travel with you. Their wings do not make noise, but their presence shifts outcomes. They tilt circumstances in your favor, remove traps set by unseen hands, and illuminate paths that once looked dark. Chosen one, let peace settle into your spirit. You are protected by the same power that hung the stars. The unseen hosts stand ready, not because of who you are in the world's eyes, but because of who you are in heaven's record. You are marked, sealed, and shielded. The time is near when you will see the evidence of all that has been moving unseen. What once felt like random blessings will soon reveal divine coordination. You will realize that none of it was luck, it was strategy. Heaven was busy while you were waiting. Angels were aligning what your prayers began. So breathe. Beloved, you do not need to fight for every door. Some doors are being opened for you by unseen hands. Trust the movement you cannot measure. Heaven is never still, and its armies are never late. The angels are in motion, and they are carrying your breakthrough in their wings. The invisible realm hums with purpose around you. Chosen one, even now, the air trembles with the flutter of angelic wings, carrying messages of victory toward your life. What once delayed will now accelerate under divine command. Rest in this truth. You are never unguarded, never forgotten. The unseen hands of heaven work continually for your good. Every heartbeat is protected, every step divinely ordered. For angels still move where faith remains alive. Chosen one. Can you hear it? The sound of release, the vibration of heaven's decree echoing across your spirit. Something ancient, something promised, is stirring in the invisible. Heaven is not whispering anymore, it is declaring. The blessing has been spoken, now it waits for your agreement. You have carried prayers like seeds in your hands, uncertain where to plant them. But today, the wind of the Spirit blows across your life, guiding those seeds into fertile ground. Every word of faith you've ever spoken, every act of obedience, has not gone unnoticed. The soil of heaven has been waiting for this moment to break open, for the sound of your belief to match the rhythm of divine intention. When God releases a sound, it shakes atmospheres. Mountains shift, chains tremble, hearts awaken. And right now, the sound of release is moving toward you. It is not a shout of demand, it is a melody of mercy. A song of restoration written before time began. Chosen one, you may not see it yet, but heaven has already signed your release papers. The chains that held your progress are being shattered by sound waves from the throne of grace. There is a frequency, only your spirit can hear, a call that tells you the wait is over, that your name has been called in heaven's court. As the prophet Elijah spoke in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 41, "Go, eat and drink, for there is the sound of a heavy rain." The sound is not just metaphor, it is manifestation. The prophet heard the rain before the sky turned dark. In the same way, your spirit senses what your eyes cannot yet see. That stirring inside you, that sudden peace after long pain, is heaven's announcement that the drought is ending. Rain represents replenishment, growth, and fresh beginnings. It washes away dust, revives dry ground, and makes hidden seeds come alive. Chosen one, The sound of release means rain is coming, spiritual rain that will water every buried dream, every unspoken hope, every prayer that once seemed forgotten. But there is something beautiful about this sound. It not only blesses you, it flows through you. The miracle that reaches your life is meant to spill into others. When God releases abundance, He looks for hearts that will let it overflow beyond themselves. You become both a receiver and a river. That's why this message exists, to pour living water into weary souls. Every word written, every video shared, every message spoken carries that same purpose: to awaken faith in hearts that forgot how to hope. This space is not powered by algorithms, it is sustained by faith, love, and those who believe in spreading light. Beloved, if this message has ever touched your heart, if these words have been a light on a dark day, consider this: you are part of that flow. You are not a bystander, you are a vessel through which heaven continues to pour. When you like, you drop a pebble into the river of light, ripples of grace move outward. When you share, you open another window for heaven's breeze to enter someone's storm. When you subscribe, you build a bridge of connection so that light can find you again. And for those whose hearts feel stirred to give, listen, your donation is not a transaction, it's the gentle planting of a seed in sacred soil. It is the oil that keeps the lamp burning, ensuring the flame that found you continues to reach others lost in the dark. Give only if peace whispers yes, for love never forces. It only invites. Your gift, no matter how small, becomes a spark that lights another candle. It helps sustain the creation of messages that heal hearts, strengthen faith, and remind countless others that they, too, are chosen. And as you give freely, joyfully, willingly, the same rain that falls on this ministry falls on your field. But remember this truth: you are under no demand. You are not obligated, you are invited. God loves a cheerful giver, not a pressured one. If your heart stirs, if your spirit feels moved, then give, not because you have to, but because love overflows. And if your gift today is simply your prayer, your time, or your share, it is enough. Heaven sees the intention, not the amount. So, chosen one, let the sound of release fill your life. Let it wash away fear and awaken joy. The rain is coming not just to you, but through you. Every act of faith, whether a comment, a prayer, or a seed sown in love, becomes part of that heavenly melody. Keep the flow alive. Like, share, subscribe, and if led, sow a seed, not as duty, but as worship, because rivers never stop moving, and light never stops expanding. You are the proof that heaven still speaks, and its sound still heals. The heavens listen when you move in love. Chosen one, every share becomes a whisper of light. Every seed, a ripple in eternity. The rain that falls on you now carries promises flowing outward, touching unseen hearts, returning multiplied to the giver in divine harmony. Chosen one, something sacred is happening in this very moment. The invisible realm is unfolding, and the divine ledger of heaven is being opened. For years, you have sown tears and prayers into soil that seemed unresponsive, but now, the record is being reviewed, and heaven's justice is awake. Every act of kindness you gave without recognition, every prayer whispered in secret. Every sacrifice no one saw, none of it disappeared. It was written. You thought heaven was silent, but heaven was accounting. And now, the divine balance is shifting in your favor. The books of heaven are not like the ledgers of men. They do not forget. They do not miscount, and they cannot be corrupted. When God opens his ledger, nothing you've endured is wasted. Every injustice becomes an entry, every pain, a promise pending fulfillment. There were moments you cried out, God, do you see? And the answer, written in eternity, was yes. He saw the betrayal, the long nights, the way you loved when it wasn't returned. He saw how you chose mercy over revenge, patience over anger, faith over fear. You have been building unseen treasure while others were chasing temporary gain. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 20, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in or steal. This is what's happening now. Your treasures, once hidden in heaven's vault, are being released. The ledger is unsealed, and what you sowed in private will now manifest in public. You are not forgotten. You are remembered with divine precision. Chosen one. The time for divine recompense has arrived. Every seed planted in faith will return multiplied. Where you gave love, love will find you again. Where you forgave, peace will overflow. Where you trusted, abundance will appear. You will soon see it. Unexpected favor, open doors, reconciliations you never thought possible. It won't come through manipulation or striving. It will come through grace. Heaven has remembered you, and the scales of justice are tilting toward your name. Understand, this divine balance is never about revenge. It is restoration, the return of what was rightfully yours, purified by grace and multiplied by time. God restores with interest. He does not return things as they were. He returns them better, brighter, and built to last. Chosen one. You may not recognize the form your blessing takes. It might not look like what you lost, but it will feel like healing. It will bring peace. Not pressure, purpose. Not confusion. The waiting made you wiser, and heaven honors those who learn to wait well. Heaven's ledger has always been more than a record. It's a love story. Every line tells of God's faithfulness. Every calculation reveals his care. When he opens it, he does not look at your failures. He looks at your faith. And your faith has moved heaven to act. Even now, angels are being dispatched to deliver what was promised. The paperwork of your breakthrough is being stamped, approved. Every area that felt barren will soon bloom. The time of silent sowing has ended. The time of visible harvest begins. When this truth settles into your spirit, respond not in fear, but in gratitude. Heaven's books are open, and your name shines bright upon them. You are not empty. You are accounted for. You are not forgotten. You are favored. If this resonates deep within you, type below 888. This is your prophetic number symbol of new beginnings and endless abundance. It is not superstition, it is alignment. When you type it, you are echoing heaven's balance, declaring that your season of lack is over and the floodgates of restoration are open. Your comment is not a ritual, it is a witness. It says, I agree with heaven's record. I receive what is written about me. And as you declare it, watch how quickly things begin to move. Chosen one. Heaven's ledger has been opened, and your page is radiant with grace. What you thought was forgotten is about to find you again. 888. This number is not random. It is the rhythm of heaven's promise. When you type it, you are declaring that new cycles of blessing have begun. The number 8 represents new beginnings. And when heaven repeats it 3 times, it speaks of eternity multiplied, endless grace, endless favor, endless renewal. By commenting 888, you are not performing a ritual. You are aligning your faith with divine motion. You are saying, I believe that what was withheld is now released, that the divine ledger of my life has turned a new page. It is a simple act, but simple faith moves mountains. The spiritual world recognizes the sound of agreement, and this number becomes your signature of trust. Chosen one. Let your comment be your covenant. When your fingers type those digits, imagine them as keys unlocking doors that were sealed. You are not asking for what you don't deserve. You are receiving what was always meant to be yours. Type it with faith. Watch heaven respond. Chosen one. Even now, your name is being spoken in places you have never been. It moves through the unseen like a sacred echo, carried on the breath of the Spirit. Heaven has begun to whisper your name into hearts, conversations, and decisions that concern your destiny. You may not see it yet, but divine recognition has already begun. You once thought no one noticed the effort, the prayers, or the integrity you maintained when no one watched. Yet, heaven saw it all. Your name was not forgotten, it was preserved. There are seasons when God hides you, not because you are unworthy, but because He is preparing the world to receive you. What is concealed in one chapter will be celebrated in the next. Chosen one. There is a wind blowing through the spiritual realm. It is not an ordinary wind, it carries remembrance. The same wind that once parted seas and opened prison doors now carries your name upon its current. It moves through people's dreams, stirring hearts to think of you, speak of you, favor you. There is a mystery in how heaven works. When it is time for elevation, God does not need to send announcements. He sends reminders. Suddenly, someone remembers your gift, your kindness, your words of truth. What seemed forgotten begins to resurface, and doors that were once closed start to open without effort. This is divine remembrance at work, the moment when heaven highlights your name. Chosen one. There is weight in your name because heaven engraved it before the foundations of the world. The purpose within you has been calling out, waiting for the right atmosphere to awaken. Every time you spoke truth, even when it cost you, the vibration of your name rose in heaven's chambers. Your name carries testimony, as was spoken in the scroll of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 16. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are ever before me. That is not poetic exaggeration, it is identity. It means your existence is permanently inscribed in divine consciousness. God cannot overlook what He holds in His hands. The same hands that shape the stars also bear your name. You are not a fleeting thought, you are a divine engraving. When you feel invisible, remember this obscurity is often God's sanctuary. He hides what He treasures until the appointed time. The silence you endured was not rejection, but refinement. The delay was heaven, ensuring that when your name is finally called, you will be ready to stand in the fullness of purpose. The whispers of heaven have power beyond imagination. They find their way into meetings, into minds, into the right moments. You may think it takes connections or influence to advance, but one divine whisper can do more than 1,000 human efforts. It only takes one remembered name to shift your life's direction entirely. Chosen one. Heaven is not just remembering you, it is reintroducing you. The version of you that emerges from this season will be radiant with wisdom, humility, and grace. You will not need to announce yourself. Your presence will carry divine recognition. What was meant to ignore you will now be compelled to honor you. There will be divine coincidences that are not coincidences at all. Emails, messages, meetings, unexpected alignments that prove the unseen hand of God is writing your next chapter. You will begin to see how the long path made sense, how every no was guiding you to the ultimate yes. When people speak your name now, it will not be out of curiosity, but out of conviction. The same ones who overlooked you will feel stirred to call you back, not out of pity, but because heaven has reminded them of your value. You will find yourself walking into moments perfectly timed, because the wind of God has carried your name ahead of you. So, stand still in faith. Do not chase recognition, let recognition chase you. What is divine cannot remain hidden forever. When the appointed time arrives, even the wind will carry your testimony. Chosen one, heaven has spoken your name with affection, not obligation. It did not whisper it because you performed well, but because you endured faithfully. The silence is lifting, and the wind is shifting. You will soon see how being unseen prepared you to be unforgettable, for your name, written in the palms of divine hands, cannot fade. It cannot be erased, ignored, or lost in time. Heaven knows you, and now the earth will remember you. The whisper of your name moves through realms, awakening doors that once slept. Destiny listens. The same wind that carried Joseph from the prison to the palace now carries your name toward divine fulfillment. What is meant for you can no longer be delayed. Chosen one, rest in this truth. The wind remembers every promise. Every prayer has been caught in its current. Soon, the breeze that once felt silent will return carrying opportunity, honor, and recognition written in light across your path. Chosen one, the breaking you felt was not destruction, it was transformation. The weight that pressed upon you was never meant to bury you, but to birth you. Heaven knew what it placed inside you, and pressure was the only way it could come forth. You have been walking through a divine breaking point, and though it hurt, it was holy. There are two kinds of breaking in this world. One shatters beyond repair, but the other cracks open the shell that hides new life. You, beloved, have experienced the second. You were not being crushed, you were being opened. The pain you thought would end you has in fact revealed what was always hidden within you: resilience, wisdom, authority, and compassion. You may not have seen it at first. All you knew was the ache of loss, the silence of unanswered questions, the feeling of standing in ruins. Yet even then, heaven was at work, shaping something magnificent out of what felt meaningless. God never wastes brokenness. He uses it as the doorway to rebirth. Chosen one, Think of the seed. It carries potential beyond imagination. Yet, until it breaks in the dark soil, life cannot emerge. That is how your spirit has been buried, unseen, but pregnant with destiny. The breaking was the sound of life pushing through. What felt like an ending was simply the beginning written in disguise. There are moments when God allows what you built to crumble, not because He wants to punish you, but because He wants to rebuild with divine foundation. Sometimes the old must fall apart so the eternal can take shape. What you lost was never your identity. It was only the shell that carried it for a season. As Scripture says in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." That glory, chosen one, is what is forming in you now. You are being refined, not reduced. The breaking point was your turning point. The pain that once paralyzed you is now the force that propels you. Every tear watered the soil of your calling. Every disappointment became a chisel shaping your destiny. You have walked through the fire and emerged with gold in your spirit. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness, they are evidence of survival. They are proof that darkness failed to destroy you. God is turning your scars into signatures of His faithfulness, reminders that He was present even when you couldn't perceive Him. Chosen one, understand this truth. Every true resurrection begins with a burial. You cannot rise without first being hidden. The silence you endured was heaven wrapping you in preparation, guarding what was growing inside. The breaking stripped away what could not go with you into the next level of grace. Do you remember the night you thought it was over? The moment you whispered that you had nothing left to give? Heaven heard that cry, not as defeat, but as surrender. And surrender was the key. When you finally stopped fighting the breaking, the potter's hands could shape you freely. You are the vessel He has been crafting, unique, necessary, and irreplaceable. Now the dawn is near. You can feel the atmosphere changing around you. The same pressure that once exhausted you is releasing you. What was once heavy is now hollow. And through that space, light is entering. This is what happens when breaking becomes birthing. The cracks that once represented pain now allow glory to shine through. Chosen one, the world around you may not understand the process. They saw you stumble, but they will soon see you soar. They witnessed your breaking, but they will marvel at your becoming. Because what God births through pain carries a fragrance that cannot be replicated. It smells like perseverance, like grace, like heaven's own breath. The time of hiddenness is ending. You have been broken, yes, but not destroyed. You have been shaken, yes, but not shattered. The pieces of you are coming together differently now, stronger, clearer, aligned with divine rhythm. One day soon, you will look back on this season not with bitterness, but with awe. You will see how every crack let light in, how every loss made space for glory. The breaking did not destroy you, it introduced you to who you truly are. Chosen one, stand tall in your new skin. You are reborn through the very pain that once scared you. You are evidence that even in the breaking, heaven builds. The pressure that once crushed you now propels you forward. You are no longer who you were before the breaking. Heaven has rewritten your story, and every fracture has become a line of divine poetry carved into your soul. Chosen one, rise from the dust with quiet power. The world will see strength, but heaven sees rebirth. Your breaking was your becoming. Your pain, a hidden prophecy fulfilled through endurance and grace. Chosen one. The time for silent belief has passed. Now comes the time for prophetic activation. The word has been spoken over you. The promise has been prepared. And heaven waits for your agreement. This is not about striving, it is about standing. The moment you align your voice with divine truth, power begins to move. You have carried faith privately, guarded it through storms, and held onto it when logic screamed to let go. But now, heaven calls you to release what you have believed into the atmosphere. Faith must not only dwell in your heart, it must be declared. For when you speak, the unseen begins to obey. Prophetic activation is not noise, it is alignment. It is when your words become instruments that tune your surroundings to heaven's frequency. You may feel unworthy to speak such power, but the authority has already been given to you. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives within you. It is waiting for your command. You are not begging for miracles. You are releasing what has been prepared for you all along. The voice of the chosen carries creative force. Heaven responds not to fear, but to faith spoken aloud. Every declaration you make in alignment with divine will becomes a key that opens unseen doors. As was revealed in the book of Job, chapter 22, verse 28, you will also decree a thing, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. Chosen one. This verse is not metaphor, it is instruction. When you decree what God has promised, creation adjusts to make it real. Your voice is not small in the spirit, it echoes through realms. Words are not just sound, they are assignments. Every time you declare truth, angels take note and move to fulfill it. So what should you speak now? Speak life where death once reigned. Speak peace into the places that shook you. Speak restoration over what seemed ruined. Heaven has been waiting for your yes, your sound, your declaration of alignment. Your breakthrough is not waiting for permission, it is waiting for participation. Faith is heaven's language, and your words are its currency. Every time you affirm what God has spoken, you step closer into the manifestation of it. Do not underestimate the power in your mouth. The world was formed through words, and so are your tomorrows. Speak not from fear of failure, but from certainty of promise. The atmosphere bends to bold faith. This is the moment. Chosen one. When your belief becomes movement, speak over your life. Say, I am restored. Say, I am whole. Say, my purpose is unfolding now. These are not wishes, they are spiritual laws set into motion. When heaven hears the sound of agreement, things begin to accelerate. Barriers crumble, paths appear. You feel it, don't you? That quiet stirring inside that is the Spirit responding to your awakening authority. Now the heavens lean close, waiting for your response. Your declaration that you understand the power of your own sound. For this moment is not just about hearing, it is about echoing heaven's will back to heaven. Type below, I speak life. It is short but sacred. Those 3 words carry resurrection power. When you write them, you are not typing to a screen, you are releasing a decree into the unseen. You are saying to every dead place, every silent promise, every locked gate, come alive again. Let this be your act of prophetic activation, not noise, not emotion, but power. You are aligning your sound with heaven's command. You are awakening what once slept. You are declaring that you will no longer live as a listener, you will live as a voice. Chosen one. This is how miracles begin, not in crowds or ceremonies, but in one moment of faith spoken aloud. Say it, mean it, believe it. You are not echoing empty hope, you are announcing the beginning of manifestation. Heaven has heard your I speak life. Now watch as life begins to answer back. I speak life. When you write these words, you are not forming syllables, you are forming creation. Life recognizes its own name when it is spoken with faith. You are calling the living breath of heaven into every area that once gasped for hope. I speak. Life is not just a statement, it is a spiritual ignition. You are flipping the switch that turns on divine electricity within your circumstances. These 3 words tell heaven that you are done mourning what was lost and ready to see what will rise. By declaring, I speak life, you break partnership with despair. You tell darkness it no longer has permission to dwell in your atmosphere. Every syllable is a sword that severs the cords of hopelessness and summons renewal. It is heaven's sound through your mouth. Chosen one. When you type it, feel the authority behind it. Your voice carries resurrection. The same power that raised Lazarus moves through you. Speak it again with conviction. I speak life, and watch how heaven breathes on what you thought was gone forever. Chosen one. The moment of overflow has come. You have prayed through the drought, walked through the wilderness, and survived the season of silence. Now, the sound that reaches you is not the whisper of waiting, it is the roar of abundance. Heaven's river is breaking its banks, and you stand at the edge, ready to step in. Overflow does not begin outside, it begins within. It starts when your heart expands beyond fear, and your spirit begins to receive without resistance. You have been stretched, pressed, refined. Now that capacity becomes your container for abundance. Every lesson, every scar, every delay has built the space for what is now arriving. Chosen one. This overflow is not random, it is reward. It is the return of everything you sowed when no one was watching. The kindness you gave in secret. The faith you held when it cost you everything. Heaven has not forgotten. The season of almost is ending. The time of more than enough begins. The Book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5 declares, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. That overflow is not merely material, it is spiritual abundance spilling into every part of your being. It is peace that cannot be shaken, favor that cannot be explained, joy that cannot be stolen. Your cup runs over because heaven refuses to let you live half-filled. Chosen one. Picture it, your life as a vessel. Once cracked, now sealed and shining. The oil of grace is being poured, and it rises higher with every breath of gratitude you give. This is not a season of scrambling, this is a season of still receiving. The river flows toward open hands, not clenched fists. When overflow comes, it doesn't stop with you, it flows through you. Blessing was never meant to stagnate. You are a channel, a riverbed, a conduit for heaven's generosity. The more you release, the more God refills. That is the divine paradox. What you give in love, you never lose. And in this sacred exchange, something miraculous happens. You become a part of heaven's giving rhythm. every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every gesture of support becomes a ripple in this divine current. You don't have to force the flow, you just keep the river clear. When you like this message, you drop a small stone into still water, its ripples reach hearts you may never meet. When you share, you open another channel where light can travel. When you subscribe, you plant a seed in the soil of continued growth, ensuring that living words keep reaching the weary. For those who feel led to go deeper, listen gently. To donate is not to pay, it is to pour. Picture it as adding your drop to the river that refreshes souls around the world. Every drop counts. Every offering joins the stream that carries hope further. You are never pressured to give. Chosen one. Love never demands, it invites. If your heart feels stirred, give because it brings you joy. Let it be an act of worship, not obligation. Whether it's a prayer, a word of encouragement, or a financial seed, each one adds to the river's strength. Your generosity, no matter how small, becomes like a candle placed upon flowing water. It travels farther than you can see, lighting the way for those still lost in the dark. And as you help carry light to others, that same glow reflects back upon your life. Heaven always returns what you release, but multiplied. Chosen one. Overflow is not a destination, it's a rhythm. It begins with gratitude, flows through generosity, and returns as grace. When you open your heart to share what you've received, the river inside you deepens. You find that giving never empties, it expands. So, as you stand at this turning point of abundance, take a breath and look at what's unfolding. You are surrounded by grace that can no longer be contained. The current of blessing has found you, and now it wants to move through you. Keep the current alive, share, subscribe, and if your spirit whispers yes, sow a seed into the river that nourishes others. Not because you must, but because it's beautiful to see your drop join the tide of light flowing across the earth. The overflow is here. Chosen one. It has your name on it, your story written within it, and your purpose carried by it. You were never meant to survive on drops. You were made to live in the flood. The river of grace keeps widening, carrying whispers of peace and provision. What you release in love returns as rain upon your own fields. Every seed, every share, every silent prayer flows back multiplied, soaked in heaven's fragrance of joy and divine remembrance. Chosen one. Your overflow is not accidental, it is orchestrated. You have become part of heaven's current, a living vessel of generosity and light. Continue to flow, continue to pour, and watch as the waters of blessing never run dry around you. Chosen one. There are gates in the spirit that open not with keys of metal, but with numbers of meaning. Each number carries vibration, language, and covenant. The gate of 7 and 77 is not coincidence, it is completion joined with divine covenant. The closing of one circle and the sacred beginning of another. You have walked through many doors, some opened easily, others only after long seasons of knocking. But this gate is different. It does not respond to effort, it responds to alignment. 7 is the number of divine rest, the rhythm of heaven after creation. It is the pause between exhaustion and glory. And 77 multiplied speaks of multiplied mercy, multiplied fulfillment, multiplied grace. Chosen one. This is the gate where striving ends. The gate of completion is not earned, it is received. It is the moment when you realize that what you sought has already been finished, that the work behind the scenes was never in your control, but in His. You have reached the point where the circle closes, and everything begins to make sense. Completion is not about having everything you wanted, it is about becoming everything heaven intended. The unfinished parts of your journey begin to align. The confusion of past seasons finds meaning, and the waiting finally reveals its purpose. The gate of 7 and 77 stands as heaven's announcement, it is done. As the ancient record of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 2 reminds us, by the seventh day God had finished the work He had been doing, so on the seventh day He rested from all His work. That rest was not weariness, it was satisfaction. It was the exhale of divine purpose fulfilled. The same pattern now flows through your life. The striving, the pushing, the endless trying to prove your worth, heaven says. Rest now. It is finished. What was started in pain is ending in peace. Completion does not mean you have no more work to do. It means you no longer work from emptiness. You now build from wholeness. You speak from healing. You move not to earn approval, but to express gratitude. The rhythm of grace replaces the noise of exhaustion. Chosen one, when you reach divine completion, you begin to see patterns. Things you thought were failures reveal themselves as steps. Doors that closed now make sense. Relationships that ended are seen as redirections. You realize that heaven wastes nothing, not even mistakes. 7 also represents sanctified timing. It tells you that nothing happens too early or too late. All unfolds in perfection. You may have thought God forgot, but He was simply waiting for the seventh day, the moment when all things align and the work becomes whole. 77. The gate of multiplied covenant extends that rest beyond you. It represents grace flowing into generations, promises cascading into the future. What you are stepping into now will outlive you. Your obedience is building inheritance. Your faith is writing legacy. Chosen one, this gate marks a shift. You have moved from surviving into sustaining, from pleading into peace. You no longer chase doors, they open because heaven recognizes the seal upon you. You are entering a season where things that once took years will now happen in moments, not because of haste, but because divine timing has matured. The gate of 7 and 77 is also the gate of mercy renewed. It whispers that no matter what came before, the story ends in grace. The past cannot accuse you, because mercy has multiplied. You are forgiven, freed, and favored. Think of how a seed completes its cycle. It falls, dies, breaks, and blooms. That is the rhythm of 7, the sacred loop of transformation. You have fallen, you have broken, and now you are blooming. The soil that once buried you has become the ground that sustains you. When heaven completes a work, it leaves no loose ends. Every promise meets its fulfillment. Every battle ends with peace. Every tear becomes testimony. You are walking into that divine calm now, the stillness after the storm, where everything feels lighter because everything is aligned. Chosen one, take a moment to breathe in this completion. Let peace settle deep into your spirit. You have reached the end of a long cycle of struggle. You do not need to fight to prove you have arrived. Your existence here is proof enough. The gate of 7 and 77 is open before you. Step through it with gratitude, not fear. Leave behind striving, guilt, and exhaustion. They are relics of unfinished seasons. Ahead lies rest, beauty, and a rhythm of grace that will not end. This is not the end of your story, it is the end of your striving. The divine work has reached fullness, and from here on, you live in flow, not force. You have entered the 7th day of your soul, the eternal Sabbath of fulfilled promise. Chosen one, walk through the gate. You are whole. You are complete. You are home. Chosen one, the wind of restoration has begun to move. The very things that slipped through your fingers are finding their way back, not in the same form, but purified, multiplied, redeemed. Heaven's law is simple. Nothing surrendered in faith is ever truly lost. Every seed buried in tears grows into a harvest soaked in glory. You have lived through seasons that took more than they gave. Moments that emptied you so completely that you questioned if you would ever feel whole again. But what was stolen is being summoned home. God is not merely returning what you lost, He is returning what you became through the loss. You learned compassion through pain, strength through silence, patience through waiting. Every wound carried wisdom. Every disappointment prepared a doorway. Restoration is not about undoing your past. It is about redeeming it. According to what is revealed in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. This verse is not wishful comfort, it is a divine guarantee. Heaven does not simply compensate, it transforms. The years that felt wasted were being written into the tapestry of testimony. God is not only restoring time, He is redeeming meaning. Chosen one. The spirit of restoration moves like a tide. It comes quietly, at first small confirmations, gentle moments of favor, glimpses of joy, and then suddenly it floods every area that once felt barren. People who dismissed you will remember your worth. Opportunities that seemed buried will resurrect. The version of you that once broke under pressure will now rise with purpose. But restoration requires one thing: readiness. You must release the bitterness that tries to anchor you to yesterday. Restoration flows where forgiveness opens the gate. Let go of the resentment that keeps your hands closed. For how can God fill what refuses to open? Chosen one, you have cried enough. The soil is watered. And now heaven commands growth. The same places where you once whispered prayers of despair will soon echo with songs of deliverance. Where you were mocked, you will be marveled at. Where you were emptied, you will overflow. Sometimes God allows loss not as punishment, but as pruning. He cuts not to destroy, but to shape. The pruning made room for what is coming now, fruit that will last, blessings that will endure. You may not recognize what returns because it will look new. Relationships will heal differently. Doors will open wider, and blessings will come dressed in simplicity. Restoration rarely looks like the past, it looks like renewal. Even your memories will be touched by grace. The pain that once felt sharp will become distant and soft. Like a scar healed by time, you will speak of your past not with anger, but with awe. You will say, "It had to happen, so this could be born." Heaven restores in layers: spirit, soul, and substance. The first restoration is always within. As your spirit regains its joy, your soul follows. and your life responds. What begins unseen will soon unfold in full color around you. Chosen one, this restoration is already underway. Even now, your name is being spoken in divine conversations. Provision is being released in quiet ways. You may not hear trumpets or see miracles yet, but the roots of renewal are spreading beneath the surface. If this word resonates within you, if you can feel something stirring, a warmth, a quiet knowing, respond with faith. Type below 555. This is not coincidence, this is alignment. 555 represents divine grace multiplied and transformation complete. It is heaven's signature upon a new beginning after restoration. When you write it, you are declaring what was broken is being rebuilt. What was lost is being found. What was empty is being filled again. Chosen one, let this be your act of faith. Type it not as habit, but as harmony with what heaven is already doing. You are stepping into your restoration, and this time, it will not be taken away. The tide has turned. The wind carries your name. What was gone returns not the same, but better, brighter, whole. Heaven has spoken, your restoration has begun. 555. This number is a sacred rhythm. Chosen one, the heartbeat of divine grace multiplied. When you type it, you are declaring that transition is complete and renewal has begun. Heaven recognizes the sound of your agreement, and grace begins to expand through every corner of your life. By writing 555, you are not performing an act of superstition, you are aligning with the flow of transformation. The number 5 symbolizes grace, and when it repeats 3 times, it announces fullness, spirit, soul, and body restored under divine harmony. It is heaven's way of saying, I am making all things new. Let this be your signature of faith, your silent amen written in numbers. As you type 555, imagine doors reopening, relationships mending, and peace flowing where chaos once lived. You are not just responding, you are participating in your restoration. Heaven has recorded your faith, and its answer is already on the way. Chosen one, as heaven restores and multiplies, there comes a sacred moment when the oil of purpose begins to flow again. You have walked through fire, survived storms, and been refined until only truth remained. Now, the mantle of assignment is being placed upon your shoulders, not as a burden, but as a crown. This is not the same calling you once knew. It carries greater weight because it carries deeper wisdom. The mantle you wear now has been tested in pain, washed in tears, and strengthened by silence. It is not easily removed, nor easily shaken. Heaven trusts you with more because you have proven faithful with less. A mantle is more than authority, it is identity revealed. When Elijah passed his mantle to Elisha, it was not just fabric, it was the transference of fire. You, chosen one, are standing in that same exchange. The years that tried to break you were actually years of preparation for this exact moment. As was proclaimed in the 2nd book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 15, the spirit of Elijah rests on Elisha. The same principle is true for you. The spirit that empowered your predecessors, the grace that covered those who came before, now rests upon you. Heaven has not forgotten the lineage of faith that flows through your veins. You are part of an unbroken chain of divine continuity, one life passing the torch to the next, ensuring the light never fades. Chosen one. This mantle is not given for comfort, but for commission. You are not being crowned simply to stand tall. You are being crowned to serve. The authority you carry is not for domination, but transformation. Where you walk, light must follow. Where you speak, peace must settle. There will be moments when you question whether you are ready, but heaven would not have chosen you if you were not prepared. Readiness in the kingdom is not perfection, it is surrender. You are ready because you have yielded, because you have said yes even when it cost you everything. This new mantle will change how you move through the world. Old fears will no longer fit. Old doubts will lose their grip. You will sense clarity where confusion once ruled. You will feel peace in decisions that used to paralyze you. This is what happens when divine authority and divine identity finally meet. Chosen one. Your crown is invisible but undeniable. The spiritual realm recognizes what rests upon you. Darkness recoils, doors open, and hearts listen not to you, but to the presence you carry. You are a living testimony of redemption. Your very being releases hope. You were not anointed to hide. You were anointed to heal, to speak, to build, to restore. The oil on your life is for others. Too, it was never meant to stay contained. The mantle transforms you from survivor into servant, from receiver into vessel, and as you pour out, you will never run dry. The mantle does not make you superior, it makes you responsible. With divine authority comes divine compassion. You will find yourself drawn to those who are broken, because you remember what it felt like to be broken. You will lift others not from pride, but from empathy. That is the heart of true power, to use it in love. Chosen one. When heaven crowns you, humility must remain your garment. The crown is not meant to replace servanthood, but to enhance it. The greater the calling, the deeper the compassion required to carry it. That is why you had to walk through pain first, so your heart could understand the hearts of others. In the days ahead, you will notice a shift. Your words will carry weight. Your presence will bring calm. You will pray and see immediate answers. Not because you are more deserving, but because your spirit now flows in alignment with heaven's current. There will be no need to announce yourself. Heaven will announce you. The crown of calling glows quietly. It does not shout, but those with discernment will see it, and those in need will be drawn to it. That is how heaven builds influence, not through display, but through divine magnetism. Chosen one. Remember, always, the crown is both gift and test. Carry it with gratitude, not pride. Wear it with reverence, not fear. And when you grow weary under its weight, remember you are not carrying it alone. Heaven's hand rests upon yours, steadying, guiding, empowering. You have been crowned not to be exalted, but to elevate others. The mantle of purpose rests upon you now. Rise gently, speak wisely, love deeply, for the crown you wear was shaped in pain, and now it shines with glory. You are ready. Chosen one. Step forward, crowned for the assignment, covered by grace, and clothed in eternal purpose. Your crown is proof of endurance, not entitlement. It gleams with the light of every battle you survived and every prayer that shaped your strength in silence. Chosen one, walk gently with it. Let humility be your jewel, compassion your robe, and love the fragrance that follows wherever you go. Chosen one. Every story written by heaven carries a chapter of silence and a page of vindication. You have endured seasons when voices rose against you, false judgments, misunderstandings, and words meant to wound. You stood in quiet dignity while others misread your heart. Heaven saw it all. And now the silence of your enemies begins. When God decides to defend, He does not argue, He demonstrates. He turns the very stones thrown at you into steps beneath your feet. He allows misunderstanding only long enough to build a testimony so radiant that no accusation can stand against it. The same mouths that spoke against you will soon speak of you, not because you demanded it, but because heaven has written justice into your story. As the voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." That stillness was never weakness, it was wisdom. You were silent not because you were powerless, but because you trusted the one who speaks louder than any earthly voice. Heaven heard every insult, every whispered lie, every secret plan formed in darkness. Now, heaven answers not with words, but with results. Chosen one. Divine justice is not loud. It arrives quietly, humbling those who mocked you without destroying them. God's vengeance is never cruelty. It is correction wrapped in mercy. He silences not to shame, but to teach. Those who rose against you will witness your elevation, not as punishment, but as proof that grace cannot be buried. You must understand this sacred truth. Vindication is not about victory over people, it is about alignment with purpose. When you are truly aligned, nothing spoken against you can prosper. The lies lose oxygen because your truth keeps breathing. The light in you exposes the shadows without a single word. Chosen one. Heaven has watched your restraint, your refusal to retaliate, your decision to love when anger would have been easier. That restraint was not unnoticed, it became your defense. Every time you stayed silent, heaven spoke louder. Every time you chose peace, heaven added strength to your foundation. Now comes the quiet turning, without warning. Situations that once opposed you begin to shift. Closed hearts open. Hidden truths surface. The same system that once resisted you begins to make space for you. It is not coincidence, it is divine reversal. You will not need to prove who you are. Circumstances will prove it for you. God will arrange evidence in plain sight. Opportunities will find you precisely where you were once rejected. The same environment that dismissed you will now rely on the wisdom you carry. But when this happens, remember humility. Vindication is not for boasting, it is for witnessing. You are not being exalted to gloat, but to glorify. When the world sees what God has done through you, they will recognize His hand, not your defense. That is how the silence of the enemy becomes a song of redemption. Chosen one. Divine justice often feels delayed because heaven is working in layers. God does not just silence your accusers, He transforms them. Some who once stood against you will become allies in your next assignment. Others will simply fade away, unable to thrive in the light you now walk in. Both are forms of mercy. Let peace guard your heart as this season unfolds. You do not need to monitor who speaks your name or how. You have already been vindicated in the courts of heaven. Earth is simply catching up with the verdict. When the silence settles, You will feel it not as emptiness, but as calm. The noise will cease, and in its place will come clarity. You will look back and realize that every battle, every betrayal, and every moment of waiting was part of God's defense strategy. The lesson remains when you let God speak for you. His answer always echoes longer. Human voices fade, but divine justice resonates through generations. Chosen one, hold your peace. Do not waste energy proving what heaven has already proclaimed. Your life itself has become the defense. Your endurance, the testimony. Soon, even those who doubted you will confess that they see something holy in your resilience. That acknowledgement is not flattery, it is the silence of the enemy bowing to truth. You are stepping into a realm where your peace becomes your weapon, your grace, your armor, and your consistency, your victory. What they meant for harm became your refinement. What they spoke in darkness has only polished your light. Chosen one, walk forward in quiet triumph. Let your vindication speak through fruit, not words. Let your peace be proof that heaven fought for you. And when the silence finally arrives, do not look back to mock those who once wounded you. Bless them, for the greatest victory is to walk in freedom while others still wonder how you healed so completely. You have no need for revenge when God Himself writes your defense. The silence of the enemy will not feel like emptiness, it will sound like peace. Chosen one, the awakening has begun. What started as a whisper inside your heart is now becoming a sound that spreads across the world. You are not alone in this journey, there are others, scattered across nations and generations, who carry the same light. Heaven calls them the chosen ones, a family of flame born for such a time as this. This is not a movement of noise, but of resonance. When one heart awakens, another responds, like embers finding each other in the dark. You and countless others are beginning to glow brighter, forming a fire that cannot be extinguished. The light in you attracts the light in others, until the night itself begins to fade. This is the global awakening of the chosen. Heaven is gathering its messengers, not in buildings or titles, but in hearts that burn with compassion and truth. You are one of them, a living spark carrying the essence of divine purpose into every corner of existence. You may wonder, what can I do? How can one flame make a difference? But a single candle can chase shadows from an entire room. A single word, spoken with faith, can ripple through time. Every act of kindness, every prayer whispered, every testimony shared, these are the seeds that awaken nations. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 9, "For we are co-workers in God's service. You are God's field, God's building." Chosen one. This verse holds your truth. You are not working alone. You are part of something vast and divine. Together, the chosen ones form the living architecture of heaven's plan, each life a beam of light, each story a brick in the eternal structure of grace. The time has come to move from isolation into illumination. The same Spirit that anointed prophets and apostles now moves through ordinary people who dare to love radically and believe relentlessly. When one of us shines, all are strengthened. When one shares the light, others find their path. When you like this message, it is as if you lift a lantern higher, its glow travels farther into the night. When you share, you release sparks that drift into unseen hearts, igniting hope in strangers you may never meet. When you comment, It is like placing a small stone in the river of testimony. Your words create ripples that guide other travelers to the light. When you subscribe, you choose to keep your lantern filled, ensuring that the flame within you never flickers out. And if your spirit feels stirred to give, hear this gently: to donate is to add another piece of wood to the communal fire. Each gift, whether a prayer, a gesture, or a seed of support, keeps the flames alive. It ensures that messages of faith continue to reach those who sit in silence, searching for warmth. But remember, chosen one, giving is never demanded, it is desired. Love never asks by force. It invites, softly, like the wind that feeds a flame. If peace whispers yes within you, then give. If not, hold your light proudly. It is enough. Every heart that reads these words, every soul that awakens, is part of the same holy blaze. You are not supporting a person, you are sustaining a purpose. Every act of connection expands the reach of heaven's melody. You are helping build an invisible sanctuary where the weary find rest, the broken find healing, and the searching find truth. Chosen one, you are a vital note in this divine symphony. Your presence matters. Your echo matters. Together, we are creating a harmony that darkness cannot drown. So lift your light higher, like, share, comment, subscribe, and if led, sow a seed. Do it not as duty, but as dance. Let every act be an expression of gratitude for the flame that found you. For what we build in love can never crumble, it only spreads. The awakening of the chosen ones is not a distant prophecy, it is here, now, unfolding through every willing heart. You are both the spark and the story, both the flame and the messenger. The world is watching the horizon for hope. Let them see your light and know that heaven still breathes among us. The fire has begun, and you, chosen one, are its keeper. The fire that lives within you was never meant to burn alone. It longs to meet other flames, to merge, to rise, to become a beacon for generations. Each act of light you release carries eternity in its glow. Chosen one, remember, the brightest fires burn with gentleness. They do not consume, they comfort. Let your warmth draw others in, not through noise but through quiet brilliance that speaks louder than words. This movement of light is not built by hands but by hearts. Every flame keeps the world from freezing. Stay steady, stay luminous, and never doubt that your small spark is part of heaven's infinite sunrise. The dawn listens for your flame. Chosen one, as you keep shining, heaven paints new colors across the sky of humanity. Every heartbeat becomes a spark, every breath a prayer, and together we set the world alight with holy, unending warmth. Chosen one, you have come so far. The air around you carries the hum of expectancy, as if creation itself holds its breath watching your next step. You are nearing the final stretch of this sacred journey, the last test before full manifestation. It is not a battle of flesh but of faith. The final push of faith demands not more strength, but deeper surrender. There is always a quiet moment before fulfillment when everything seems uncertain. The world grows silent. Prayers echo without answers, and hope trembles like a candle in the wind. It is in that silence that heaven measures the weight of your trust. Can you still believe when the evidence is invisible? Can you still walk when the path disappears beneath your feet? That, beloved, is the essence of the final push. Faith is not proven by what you see, but by what you endure without sight. The delay before manifestation is not a denial, it is divine tension pulling you toward the threshold of promise. This is the moment when heaven stretches you one last time, not to break you, but to enlarge your capacity for what is coming. As was spoken in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 36. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. This verse is the heartbeat of your current season. Perseverance is not passive waiting, it is active trust. It is waking each day with the same faith you had when you first began. Even when nothing seems to change, it is believing that God is still moving, even when all evidence says otherwise. Chosen one. Understand this, the hardest battles are always fought closest to victory. The night grows darkest before dawn, not as a threat, but as a signal that light is near. You are not losing strength, you are being refined for revelation. Heaven often delays the visible so that your spirit can mature to hold it. The final push of faith often feels like contradiction. You feel ready to rest. Yet heaven whispers, just one more step. You feel emptied, yet you are being filled with unseen strength. Faith at this stage is no longer about asking, it is about standing. You have prayed, believed, and waited. Now, you must simply hold. The final test is not whether you will receive, but whether you can remain steadfast when everything shakes. The enemy's last tactic is weariness, convincing you that you have waited too long, that your hope is in vain. But the truth is, weariness often signals that the birthing is near. The ache you feel is not ending pain, it is delivery pain. Chosen one. This is your labor of faith. The promise you carry is alive, pressing against the walls of your waiting, ready to emerge. But birth requires endurance. You cannot quit at the door of manifestation. You must breathe through the pressure, trust the process, and remember who holds your future. Every person used greatly by God reached a moment like this where surrender looked easier than standing, and silence louder than promise. Yet those who endured saw what others only dreamed. You are standing in that sacred place now, where heaven watches and angels wait for your next breath of belief. Do not rush what God is perfecting. The final push produces permanence. Quick victories fade, but faith-forged blessings endure. What is born through struggle carries strength that cannot be shaken. When your miracle arrives, it will not be fragile, it will be unbreakable because it was birthed through perseverance. Chosen one. Remember what carried you this far. It was not talent, nor power, nor perfection. It was trust, and trust must finish the journey it started. You cannot let doubt rewrite what faith began. The same God who started the promise is faithful to complete it. You may not realize it, but even now the shift has begun. The doors you prayed for are unlocking in silence. The waves are parting in stillness. The winds of fulfillment are gathering around you quietly. Unseen, yet undeniable. Heaven always moves most profoundly when the earth grows quiet. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. The seed must remain buried for a season before it breaks the soil. You are in that final moment, the last heartbeat before breakthrough, the final breath before dawn. Stand firm. The test will pass, and glory will rise. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The promise is near. The final push is not to crush you, it is to crown you. Hold fast to faith. Breathe deeply in grace. And let the weight of waiting become worship. For those who stand in faith's final hour, always step first into heaven's fulfilled promise. You are one breath away from everything shifting. Hold on. Chosen one. The dawn is already forming at the edge of your horizon. The horizon blushes with promise. Chosen one. Every shadow you faced was only the curtain before dawn. Stand still now, for the first rays of fulfillment are rising, touching your face with the warmth of a victory long written in heaven's design. Chosen one. The unlocking is complete. The gates that once stood before you, sealed by time and trial, now stand open in silent surrender. What was bound has been loosed. What was hidden has been revealed. And what was delayed has finally arrived. You have crossed from promise into proof. There is a sacred stillness that follows divine fulfillment. It is not the emptiness after striving, it is the quiet peace that comes when heaven's word becomes flesh in your life. You are no longer standing at the threshold. You are walking inside the reality that was once only vision. This is the moment all your waiting, weeping, and worship were leading toward. Chosen one. Look around you. The atmosphere has changed. The air feels lighter because the war has lifted. You have passed through seasons of tearing and testing. But now you walk in restoration. What you hold is not luck, it is legacy. It is the harvest of every hidden seed you sowed when no one was watching. You have learned that blessings are not always loud. Sometimes they arrive quietly, disguised as peace, disguised as laughter, returning to your mouth after years of silence. You may not even realize how much has shifted until you look back and see that what once broke you now blesses you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 22, "So with you now is your time of grief. But I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy." This is that moment. Chosen one, the again of your story. The return of joy that can no longer be taken. The peace that does not depend on circumstances. The fulfillment that comes not from what you possess, but from who you have become. The unlocking of heaven was never just about answered prayers, it was about your transformation. You are not the same person who began this journey. The waiting forged patience. The pain birthed compassion. And the breaking revealed faith that cannot be shaken. The door that has opened now is not just for opportunity, it is for assignment. You have been entrusted with light, and the world needs what you carry. The blessing you now hold is not an ending but a beginning. Heaven does not bless merely to comfort, it blesses to commission. You are called to walk as evidence that divine promises are real, that perseverance is worth it, and that faith never fails. Chosen one. Take a moment to breathe in this new chapter. The air itself carries fulfillment. The path ahead hums with divine alignment. You no longer walk hoping now, you walk knowing. The ground beneath your feet is steady because heaven has sealed this season with finality. What you feel now, this peace, this gratitude, this awe is the sound of spiritual completion. The unlocked blessing will not fade with time because it was never built on chance, it was built on covenant. You are standing in something eternal. And yet, even here, humility remains your crown. Remember how the journey shaped you. Remember the nights when tears watered your prayers. the days when silence trained your trust. Let gratitude keep your heart tender. Let memory guard your compassion. The fulfillment of your promise does not mean the end of your growth. Heaven's unlocking is not a period, it is a comma. From here, you will build, teach, love, and serve in ways that carry heaven's fragrance. What was unlocked in you will unlock others. That is how the kingdom multiplies, not through might, but through hearts awakened by testimony. Chosen one, you are now the living proof that God's timing is perfect. Every detour had design. Every waiting room was a workshop of wonder. Every not yet was the careful crafting of a now that could not be stolen. You have become the manifestation of divine faithfulness. Look once more at the gates behind you. They are open still, but you will not need to return through them. What was once barrier has become passage. The locks are gone, the chains dissolved, the way forever cleared. Walk forward with peace. Carry the glow of fulfillment like morning sunlight on your face. Let your presence remind others that the God who unlocks promises is still unlocking hearts. You have reached the culmination, but not the conclusion. This is not the closing of your story, it is the proof that heaven's word never fails. The unlocking is complete, but the journey of glory continues. Chosen one, you are the answered prayer. You are the fulfilled promise. You are the opened gate through which heaven still moves. Walk gently in this grace. Everything you touch from this moment forward will bear the mark of divine completion. You have crossed into the life that was always meant for you. Heaven has unlocked your blessing, and now, you are the blessing heaven sends to the world. The air around you hums with promise fulfilled. Every heartbeat echoes heaven's yes. Walk softly, chosen one, for you now carry the fragrance of answered prayer, the living proof that faith, when tested, always blooms into glory. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this sacred journey, but endings in heaven are never conclusions. They are beginnings rewritten in light. You have walked through fire, water, silence, and revelation, and now you stand radiant, crowned not just with blessing, but with understanding. You have become living proof that faith outlasts fear and that divine timing never fails. Now, let this final moment be more than reflection, let it be communion. When you light this message, it is as if you press your palm against the heartbeat of heaven, letting it echo through the digital air. When you share, you open invisible doors, allowing this light to travel into homes and hearts you will never see. When you comment, it is like carving your name into the tree of testimony, reminding others that they are not alone in their faith. When you subscribe, you choose to stay near the fire, to keep your lamp burning where hope still flickers. You become part of a circle of light that refuses to dim. And if your spirit ever feels led to give, to donate is to pour a drop of oil into the eternal lamp, ensuring that its flame keeps reaching the lost and weary. No demand, no pressure, only invitation. Love never commands, it calls gently. Give if your heart feels peace. Share if your soul stirs. And hold this word close if all you can offer is a prayer. Every act, no matter how small, keeps the current of faith alive. Chosen one, the gates of heaven stand open over you now. Carry the peace you have found here into the world around you. Walk as light. Speak as hope. Love as if eternity depends on it, because it does.